Okay, here we are at section 2.4 with the answers 36 through 44. We're going to do some division here. 7 goes into 23 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. Subtract that, we get a 2. 4 comes down here. 7 goes into 24 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. Subtract, and we get 3. So we could write 33 remainder 3 as an answer. Or 33 and 3/7 as an answer. That's also acceptable. And the other way of doing it is if we just put a point 0, 0, 0, go out a little ways, we could keep going. 7 goes into, drop down that, a 30, and 7 goes into 30 4 times. 4 times 7 is 28. Subtract, you get 2 zeros. 7 goes into 20. 2 times, that's 14. Subtract, and you get a 6. 6 0. 4 2 8. Anyway, and you could keep going forever like that. So any one of those three answers, that's fine. Number 37. 5 goes into 13 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. Subtract, and we get 35. 5 goes into 35 7 times. So that's it. 27 on that one. No need to round or anything. 11 goes into 589. Now let's write down the 11 times tables just so we can have them for reference. 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99. Just have them right there for reference. So 11 goes into 58 5 times. 55, subtract, and we get 3. Bring down the 9. 11 goes into 39 3 times. 3 times 11 is 33. Subtract, and we get a 6. So 53 remainder 6 is fine. More appropriately written 53 and 6/11. If you want the decimal on it, and you may think, I don't want to do anything, but you may want to at some point. Put it into a decimal. 6, carry down the 0. 11 goes into 60 5 times. That is 55. 5 0 goes into it 4 times. That's a 44. Subtracting, you get a 6. We're going to get a 60, so we're going to repeat that. 53.5454, and that will go on forever and ever. So there's the third way of writing the answer. Those are the three right there. Number 39. If we look at this, I don't like this decimal here. Remember that if this is 56.3 over 0.04, if we times top them by 100, we get this is the same thing as 5630 divided by 4. So here's the shortcut. 1, 2 places here. 1, 2 places there. So we actually have 4 into 5630. And this will give us the exact same right answer. These two fractions are exactly the same. So we take 4 goes into 5 once. Subtract, and we get 16. 4 goes into 16 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. Subtract, we get 0. Drop down to 3. 4 goes into 3 0 times. 0 times 4 is 0. And we drop down that other 30. 4 goes into 30 7 times. It's 28. Subtract, and we get 2. So you could do 1407 remainder 2. That's one way of writing it, or 1407 and 2/4, which reduces down to 1/2. Or we could put a decimal here and drop that 0 down there. 4 goes into 20, and we see we get 1407.5. So any way of writing those is perfectly fine there. Usually, if the question gives us decimals like this, then we will write the answer in decimal form. Where these up here didn't give them to them in decimals, it's more common that it could come out in one of the other forms. But here, if they give it to us in decimals, probably decimals is more appropriate. Number 40. On this one, 0.8 goes into 42. So I don't know my 0.8 times tables very well, so I'm going to go 8 into 420, having just moved the decimal one place that way and one place that way. 8 goes into 42 5 times. 5 times 8 is 40. Subtract, and I get 2 0. 8 goes into 20 twice. That's 16. Subtract and we get a 4. So you could do 52 remainder 4, but they kind of gave us decimals in the question, so I'm going to put a decimal there. And 8 goes into 40 5 times. 52.5. Ooh, this is going to be a tough one. We're going to go 21 into 1512. So I'm going to move the decimal one place that way, move the decimal one place that way to get rid of the decimals. And then I'm going to write down the 21 times tables because I don't know them by heart. 21, add 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 21, and add 21. Okay, so there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are the 21 times tables. So 21 goes into 15. Nope. 21 going into 151. Looks like this guy right here, 7. 7 times 21 is 147. 151 minus 147 is 4. We do borrowing, and that's 11 minus 7 is 4, and then nothing else there. Drop down the 2. 21 goes into 42 twice. 42, subtract, and we get 0. The answer is exactly 72. That was pretty cool. All right, number 42. Again, we're going to move the decimal here, move the decimal one place there. So we have 42 going into 455.7. And we may need a few zeros to carry on there. All right, so I don't know these very well, so I'm going to write those down. 42, 84, 126, 168. Add 42, and you get 210. Add 42 is 252. Add 42 is 294. Add 42 again, and we get 336. And add 42 again, and we get 378. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 42 going into 45. Hey, gives us 1. That's 42 right there. Subtract, and we get 35. 42 going to 35, it does not, so we have to put a 0 there. I'm going to do the whole subtraction thing. We get 35. Drop down the 7. 357. We'll notice it's this guy right here. That's 8 times. Now, if you don't choose to write these down, you could say, okay, kind of estimate 4 goes into 35 8 times. And that'll give you a good estimate of where you are. Here we have it, 336, and that's a 1, and that's a 2, and then we drop down a 0, 210. So again, 4 would approximately go into 21 5 times, so that would be a good guess. Or we could look at this times table thing, and we've got 210. That's exactly a 5. Done. Has 0 there. Good, 10.85. Number 43. Let's move the decimal. It becomes 7. Goes into 234.8. Oh, good. Something we know the times table's on. 7 times 7 goes into 23. 3 times 21. Subtract it, and that's 2, 4. 7 goes into 24. 3 times 3 times 7 is 21. 24 minus 1 is 3. Drop down the 8. 7 goes into 38. 5 times. And then 5 times 7 is 35. Subtract, and we get 8 minus 5 is 3. And we're going to have some zeros here we're going to have to deal with. So, 0. 7 goes into 34 times. That's 28. Subtract, and we get a 2. Bring down a 0. 7 goes into 22 times. Let's put it up here, and we'll keep going. So it goes into that 2 times, which is 14. Subtract and get 6. Drop down a 0. 7 goes into 60. 8 times. 8 times 7 is 56. Subtract and we get 4. Bring down another 0. 7 goes into 40. 5 times. 5 times 7 is 35. Subtract, and we get 50. That goes into it 7 times. 7 times 7 is 49. Subtract. I just want to see how long we go until we repeat. 1, bring down a 0, so we're at 10. So we get a 1. I think that's about as far as we can go. 1 times 7 is 7. We get 3. Drop it down, we get a 0. And you'll notice right there, so the next one's going to be a 4. So it is going to repeat exactly these. Not the 5 over here, but just that series right there. Good deal. Number 44. We're going to have to move this decimal 1, 2, 3, 4 places. So this guy's got to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 5 goes into 3, 6, 4, 0, 0, 0. So 5 goes into 36 7 times. That's 35. Subtract, and we get 1, 4. 5 goes into 14 twice. 2 times 5 is 10. Subtract, and we get 4, 0. 5 goes into 40, we get 8. And that's 40, which is 0. 5 goes into 0, 0 times, and 0 times. 72,800. Whew, that's a big one. There we go.